Listen to the sound of the drummer, thumping to the beat of my heart. Hear that bass, you can't keep the pace. It's tearing my brain apart. Whoa, I never ever felt like this before, but all I can say is, Mama, give me some more. Turning my heartbeat up, ooh-wee. Turning my heartbeat up, it's getting harder. Turning my heartbeat up, ooh-woo-woo. Turning my heartbeat up. I keep on telling you, you're turning my heartbeat up, baby. You're turning my heartbeat up, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're turning my heartbeat up, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're turning my heartbeat up.
Everybody that came to Wigan came for one reason and one reason only, to hear the music and to dance.
It was always the clubs in the north that were really throwing down.
I sometimes feel like I've got a big magnet on me and it's pulling me onto the dance floor, you know. I can feel my heart start beating fast. The hair stand up on the back of my neck. I start to sweat, you know.
It's just like a suit that's 20 years old, but it's good. When you pull it out, it's still going to be good because it was made that way. That's the way the music is. We're the core.
Walking onto that vast dance floor and walking to the other end, there'll never be another place like it. We never really thought the night would come when it would finish. The casino opened on September 23rd, 1973, and we opened at 2 a.m. and we're all very nervous. It was a big adventure.
The casino was initially just another all-nighter, a welcome all-nighter, as a carry-on from the Torch.
We ran it not knowing really it's going from week to week, and then after about a year we thought, you know, it was like a monster running along, and we were hanging along the back of it because everybody wanted to come.
Let it shine like a light. Take all my blind soul.
First time I went, I was sort of far too young to go and had to sneak out the bedroom window onto the porch, down the drain pipe type of thing. Of course, when I got back in the morning, my mum was waiting there, got a good hiding, and where have you been all night, and you're not going again. But that weren't stopping me, because it was fantastic, you know. I had to go every week.
It had a lot of members, and it also was an all-nighter for 8 years. Most all-nighters are closed. All the great ones, Twisted Wheel, Golden Torch, lasted a year, 2, 3 years. Wigan Casino was on every Saturday night for 8 years. That's a long time.
What struck me immediately was the heat in the building. That was the first thing that I can recall. And then all of a sudden, I looked up, and it looked like it was raining inside of the building from just the pure condensation of sweat from the people dancing. And I said, boy, this is my kind of place, this is.
I'm living the night, oh yeah. I'm living the night, oh yeah. I'm living the night.
They can still envisage walking in through the doors up to Mrs. Woods, who was on the door.
I was like this, like a maniac, grabbing the money and throwing theirs back at them. You had to be quick, because they were pushing and shoving that much. If you hesitated, some of them would have been upstairs for nothing.
Underneath the place was the beach coma. If they went into the back stairs, I was DJing, and then suddenly a door flew open under the stage and hundreds of people just disappeared onto the dance floor. It was like rats breaking out.
Of course, some of them used to have a sleep on the floor, you see. Used to have a sleep inside. When they got tired, they'd have a sleep, and then when they woke up, they'd have another dance, and then they'd have another sleep.
I once described Northern Soul as the sound of the Motown copyists. the end result was a plethora of music that was made all around the States, most of which was bound to fail commercially because there were just too many of them. And these failures were the rarities that Northern Soul required.
Here was a music coming over from the United States, first of all through Liverpool, through Navy personnel and Army personnel. It was an alternative to what it was that they were being force-fed for so many years by the powers to be. All of a sudden, here was a music that gave freedom of choice.
I mean, these weren't just American records. These are obscure American records. You know, that's something we really got to get over with. These weren't just American hits of 6 years ago. These were records on the B-side of big flops. Local releases only, on a minor label, maybe, you know, 1,000 copies pressed. The B-side, 8 years old, and the kids in Wigan knew every beat.
It was all based on music that was kind of flagged at the time, I guess, and ignored. But it was brought to the fore just through people's, you know, passion of it.
Every record's got a little story to it if you listen to it. It's not like a sort of poppy where you just a load of noise, bang, bang, crash, wallop. It's a little story about somebody's experience. It's grabbed all your emotions, and that's what Northern Soul's all about. Powerful.
We were real. Where we came from was the truth. If there were problems, we would sing about them.
I could die now. I want to cry now. Since you've been gone, oh baby, don't you leave my side, don't you leave me so unsatisfied. Oh,
Do you want me to get down on my knees, beg you baby please, cry a million tears? To call you on the phone, beg you to come home, think of all the years when I once lived in paradise, when the love life...
Yeah, nobody danced like that. I've never seen anything so energetic. Yeah, just unbelievable. You stand and watch it. How on earth did they spin that many times in a row, come out of it and carry on dancing, no effect? You know, the things on the floor that later break dancers did. Yeah, so often not as well.
I don't know how they did it. I wish I could have done it.
Wonderful dancers. One little guy I've had been friendly with for a number of years, Sandy Holt from Bolton, who's now the Thai European Thai boxing champion. He was an excellent dancer, and he still is.
I would practice with a friend, just in his, either at my mother and father's or his, in our parents' house, wearing out the carpet basically, practising some movements during the week, what we could do at the weekend. I'd dance 6-7 hours a night, and obviously I didn't want to get bored doing the same movements, so I'd try some different things out. I had 2 or 3 movements which I was sort of, I don't know if you can call it famous for, but I was recognised for. It was like the kicks, the high kicks, the splits, the front splits and the box splits, which is, I think, very few people could do, especially at that time. These are the shoes I actually won the 2 dance competitions with, and I had these throughout most of my dance career at Wigan Casino. And if you can just notice the little bits of added material, leather here on both sides, was where I actually used to do the splits, and that's where the shoe probably would have split otherwise. To me, dance has just been a great way of expressing yourself, and Thai boxing's been the same way.